Greetings, fans and collectors alike. I'm your host Crazy, and welcome back for a new season of PowetToys.
Action figures.
Now there have been few properties that have been quite so hot this summer as Transformers have been, and that's going to continue right into the holiday season this year. Ultimate Bumblebee here is already making quite a few of the top 10 lists for hot toys this holiday shopping season. Now with that said, Ultimate Bumblebee is definitely a figure we want to talk about, so that's exactly what we're going to do in today's segment, Ultimate Bumblebee. Now there are four things I'm going to talk about today for Ultimate Bumblebee, and that's articulation, sound effects, transformation, and size. Not particularly in that order. And because there are different sound effects in each mode, I'll be doing obviously some sound effects before the transformation and some after. But first, let's talk about the articulation. Now despite his size, Ultimate Bumblebee is actually pretty articulated. Unfortunately, because of his bulk, his size, and the electronics, he isn't really able to get into many more poses outside of, this main pose here. This is also the pose the electronics expect him to be in when they start, because the arms will come up and the wings will flutter back and forth and the head will rotate, but it sort of expects them to be in this position so they don't get in the way of each other. He does have hip articulation. Whoops. There's a button on the side you need to be careful of because that will trigger sound effects. Now, back to the articulation. He is articulated at the hip so they can move out, and the legs can move forward as well. He is articulated at the knee, just like that, and there's limited articulation in the ankle for the foot to move forward and backward. This cannon arm is a little disappointing in that there's no elbow joint here. You can move it forward, you can move it backward, and you can move it outward. But that's about all you can do. He does come with a missile, but be wary. I lost it in about 5 minutes because as soon as you start the electronics and this arm raises, it will fire in whatever direction he is pointed in. And the other arm probably has the most articulation on him. It can move out, move in, the pivots at the elbow, and he has mostly fully articulated hands. As you can see, while he does have a lot of articulation, he can't really make use of most of it because the electronics essentially already have dibs on it. Now let's talk sound effects. On the side of Bumblebee, on his left side, the side with his full arm, there is a switch right here. Here's a zoomed in view of that switch. Now there are 3 modes: on, off, and try me. Now, in the store, in the package, Bumblebee will be set to try me. That's basically the store demo mode. I have set him to try me right now. The side button that I accidentally triggered before won't work in this mode. But there is a button on his chest, it's the Autobot logo, which you press in. That will trigger sound effects. That was a perfect one to start with. There are a ton of sound effects, and you could play with him for a while and still not have heard all of them. They play in a seemingly random order. You'll hear some multiple times, some you won't hear very often at all. We were playing with him to try and get him to play Whip It by Devo for quite a while until we finally got him to do it. And he's done it here with me right now like at least 3 or 4 times. So That being said, all you have to do is just press the Autobot logo on his chest to activate it.
When a problem comes along,
Outstanding. Let's try the other mode. Alright, I've put the switch to on, so now this side button over here will work, and the Autobot logo will still work as well. Now, I believe they play different sound effects whether you press it once or if you hold it in. I actually haven't put that to a test, so I'm going to press the button on the side. Also, because the figure is sort of voice interactive, when you speak, it'll just keep going. So the longer you speak while it's on, it'll just keep going, but if you're silent, it'll shut off much sooner.
ready.
He basically makes a movement, plays a song or a sound effect, pauses, and then starts again.
I say whip it. Whip it good.
Honestly, he could not transform and this would still be an awesome figure.
Ready.
But let's move on. Let's talk about size. I can't really convey to you Bumblebee's weight in any real way. That's really something you need to interact with him to determine. But I can give you a pretty good size comparison by comparing him to things that you may be more familiar with. So let's take a look at a few things side by side with Ultimate Bumblebee. Leader Class, Movie Optimus Prime. Leader Class, Movie Megatron. Leader Class, Movie Brawl. Voyager Class, Movie Ironhide. Voyager Class, Movie Ratchet. 25th Anniversary, Optimus Prime. Cybertron, Optimus Prime. Cybertron Primus. Armada Laserbeak. Masters of the Universe mini statue of Hordak. Marvel Legends Cyclops. Marvel Legends Sentinel. Pokemon plush Psyduck. Zach Shipley's Pepsi Prime. Marvel Legends icons Captain America. And a wooden hippo. Alright, we've talked about size, special sound effects, and articulation. Let's talk about the transformation now. only one thing left to look at, and that's the sounds and special effects that he has in this mode. First, we need to turn the sounds on. We had shut them off because we don't want to keep hitting that button on the side throughout the transformation. So what we do is we open the driver's side door, and right in here will be the switch. So I'm just going to set it to on, and then close the door. Now to activate the sounds, you press the Autobot symbol on the center of his hood. You can see the headlights turned on and the engine started to rev. And if we push it forward, the engine will rev and the headlights will dim a little bit. Now if you look at the brake lights, when he slows down, the brake lights will come on. Also, if you have him drive for any distance, the radio will come on as well. I'm not sure if this is enough space. No. But it's all dictated by one of the tires. Not that one. This one. If you leave it and just let it idle for a while, eventually the engine will turn off and you'll hear the alarm click. It may take a little bit though. Alright, hasn't done that before, but that was pretty cool.
This concludes our radio broadcast.
There it is. So basically, those are the sound effects for Bumblebee. Not all of them, because there really are a lot of them. But certainly a good number of them, and you get the idea of how it works. That's about all the time we have for this segment. If you're looking for Bumblebee, you can find him at just about any toy retailer this coming holiday season. If you're looking for more news on comics, gaming, movies, music, and a whole lot more, be sure to check out our site at PowetToys. And remember kids, open your toys. They want to play with you.